All right, welcome to tonight's team call. Today is September 27th, and tonight's topic is momentum in the fourth quarter, something I think we all need to hear. But before we get started, I want to do a few date reminders, some recognition, and then we'll get into the meat of the call. So first off is our New Coach Academy begins on Monday, October 3rd. And I've been getting a lot of questions. When is the New Coach Academy? When is the New Coach Academy? It's always the first Monday of every month. Every month, first Monday, that's our New Coach Academy. So if you get coaches who sign up mid-month, you can either ask if they want to wait until the next month to begin fresh, or if they want to be put into that month's training and just be behind everyone else. So it's totally up to them. But I'm really excited to announce that we have we have completely redone the New Coach training. And this October 3rd, is going to be the first time we roll this out. It is now 16 days long, and it's pretty much all created by the leaders on our team. So we all got together, we each took days and topics. So every day in the Facebook group, there will be a link to a Google folder. And in that Google folder, there will be a video. So we recorded a short video for each day. And then there will be a document with all of the information and then other resources and folders within that folder. So the theory is that each day is a new topic. They will hear the information, they will see the information, and then they will apply the information and have all of those resources at their fingertips. And we're going to teach them how to save those folders to their own Google Drive. So by the end of the 16 days, they have the entire curriculum and they can go back and reference all of those resources at a later time. Okay, so that is rolling out on October 3rd. There are 2 calls embedded within that training. So that starts on a Monday, the following Tuesday, and then the next Tuesday. So it's the second Tuesday and the third Tuesday are new coach calls at 8:15 p.m. So as you're signing up coaches, explain the New Coach Academy, that it's 16 days, it's all online, it starts with their why, it goes through branding, the business aspects, and it ends with recruiting and building their own team. So it really covers everything this time. And we are asking that they buy the Compound Effect. So that is a requirement that they have the Compound Effect by Darren Hardy, which is the whole topic of tonight's call. So if you haven't read it, make sure you buy it, but you're going to get a little taste of it tonight. So that's what's going on with the New Coach Academy. I have a challenge group also starting on October 3rd. If you have challengers or you have people who are interested, but you don't have a group starting anytime soon, you can add them to mine on October 3rd. And then Super Saturday is October 29th, but depending on where you live, it may not be on a Saturday. It may be that Friday or Sunday. So go into the Coach Online office and look for the Super Saturday events and find one that is closest to you and go. You definitely want to go because, one, you'll be able to make friends, other coaches in your area, coaches on other teams, and that's a great thing to post about, to show that you're a part of something much bigger than just working out in your own living room. People love to see that. So what happens at Super Saturday events is these occur every quarter. There's 4 a year. And you will go, there will be success stories. So whoever organizes it, the local market council, they will find coaches to share coaching success stories, challengers to find challenger success stories. They will play a video from corporate that explains all of the new releases that are coming out this quarter and things that are to come in the beginning of next year. So it's kind of where you find out everything and you get to make friends, and then there's a live workout. So depending on where you are, different trainers do different workouts, and usually the CEO, Autumn, like all the celebrity trainers do a tour. So you may actually get to meet them at your Super Saturday or Friday or Sunday event. So definitely look those up and get to them. So those are my dates. Next, I just want to do some quick recognition shout outs for Success Club. So we still have a few days left in the month. So if you have not hit Success Club yet, or you are close to Success Club, you want to really hit home, do whatever it takes this week. This is when you start private conversations with people who maybe left crickets, like they didn't respond to your last message, or they said they were interested and they haven't really said anything since. Follow up with them, see if they're interested, and if you're willing to, you can offer an incentive for them to join. So you can say, I will, if you buy Shakeology, you'll get your workout program for free, and you can give them a $10 gift card to pay for that. If they buy a $140 challenge pack and you give them $10, they're getting the workout program for free. Or you can give them a gift card for $25 to wherever they choose. Or you can buy them the Fix8 cookbook and have it shipped to their home. So you can offer those incentives through private messages to people who are interested. And then you never know, if you make them feel like, you know, they're special, which they are because you're spending money on them, but you're still going to make money even though you're spending some of your commission on them. They will be more likely to join you. People love free stuff. They love incentives. And so remember that Success Club should be a non-negotiable. It's really important that you get there. Okay. So those are my tips. So on the board, I have 12 points. Sarah has 11. Ashley Firth has 11, and she's a brand new coach. Like, she just started, I think, last week, Ashley? She's just killing it. And she just keeps posting. She just keeps putting it out there, and people are noticing what she's saying. So don't hold back. Natasha has 10, and Sarah Kaminsky has 10. And then our SC5 qualifiers, we have Ashley Poling with 5, Katie Mazzarese with 5. And then people who are so close, they need one more point or help one more person. Nikita Shields, Shanna Allen, and Lindsay Higginbotham. I hope I pronounced this correctly. And then people who have 2 or 1 points. You need to help 2 more people, which is totally doable by the end of the month. We have Katie Reisinger, Jackie Shade, Sherry Boyles, Kelly Wolf, Erin Calloway, Leah Glass, Diana Fleeman, Jennifer Fernay, Megan Graham, who's also a brand new coach, like super brand new coach, and already has a point on the board, so congrats. Chris Kaminsky and Callie Binstock. So you guys, you can definitely do it. Keep posting, doing those exposures, you know, responding, following up with people. You can definitely nail in Lock In Success Club. And remember, the prize this month is a Beachbody yoga mat, which is really cool. All right, so that's all the recognition and stuff that I have. Now I want to get into the meat of our call. And I actually, you know, I can't take credit for this because, one, I got this information from The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. And another coach, I was watching her training, and she broke it down into an acronym like we're going to be doing, and that's where I got this idea from. So I can't take credit for it, but it is some really good info. But before we get into the big mo, I want to talk about the fourth quarter. All right, so we're in the fourth quarter, and this is the time where a lot of coaches think that they can take their foot off the gas. Or they think, you know what, I'm just going to start in January because it'll be a new year, it'll be a new start for me, and I will get all the people who want the New Year's resolution. So I'll just start in January. Or you've been going strong and now you're like, you know, it's the holidays and it's fall and people don't have the money and they don't have the time and they just want to eat a bunch of candy and stuff. So they think, I'm just going to take a break from my business. I'm not going to work it. And that is the worst idea you could possibly have. And here's why. The fourth quarter is when games are won. This is the quarter you have to work the hardest. And here's why. So in January, everybody's going to want to make these New Year's resolutions. It's called the resolution effect. So all these people are going to be looking for Beachbody coaches and groups to join and programs to do. And they are not going to wait until January to kind of think about this or find someone. They're going to start paying attention to Beachbody coaches, to people who are posting about this now. They're not going to take action, but they're going to start watching. So say you are someone on Facebook and you are friends or you're following 2 Beachbody coaches, right? And you know that they're both coaches. They've been posting about groups and what they're doing, so you know. So Coach A decides, you know what, I have a lot going on. I have all of these sports events in the fall and all of these, things to do and money to spend, and I'm going to take a break from Beachbody. I have just too much to do. And so they stop doing their workouts, and they stop posting about fitness and challenge groups and coaching and Shakeology and all that good stuff. They just post about their kids, post about their dogs, nothing about Beachbody. Coach B is consistent. Coach B shows up every day, does the workout, drinks the shake, posts about it, shares healthy recipes, shares how they're taking the Shakeology powder and making no-bake cookies for the office, shares how they took an unhealthy butternut squash recipe and made it into a healthy butternut squash recipe, shares how they're working out on Thanksgiving, on Christmas, shows up every day. So that regular person on Facebook, when January comes around and they are ready to join a group, which coach do you think they're going to choose? They're going to choose the coach that has been adding value, has been showing up every single day. They're not going to choose the coach who disappeared, because that coach is wishy-washy. And they're going to think, well, if that coach can't stick with it, I can't. If they can't keep themselves motivated, they're not going to keep me motivated. They're going to choose the coach who was there, who was pushing through. It may not have been perfect, but they did it and they made it happen. That's the coach everyone's going to choose. You want to be Coach B. You do not want to be Coach A and quit or disappear. This is the time you want to push forward. Yes, you're going to have indulgences. You're going to cheat. You're going to miss days. And you're going to share that. You're going to share that you're not perfect. Because if you show this unrealistic image of yourself that you never miss a day and you never have any cheats and treats on all these holidays, people aren't going to find you relatable or that you're real, and they're not going to want to join you. So you need to be very real, very authentic for the next few months and show that you're working out and you're missing workouts. You're eating healthy, but you're also having a few cheats and treats, okay? That's fine. You don't have to be perfect. So you have to show up, because remember, what you do today is going to pay off in 60 to 90 days. And when is that? That's when the resolution effect is going to come into play. So now more than ever, you need to be in the game. All right, so do not think, oh, it's the fourth quarter, I'm gonna wait until the new year to start, I'm gonna wait until more people are interested. No, because if you wait, you're gonna be missing all these people who are interested. Last October was my most successful month as a coach, because I was putting myself out there, whereas other coaches were like, oh, nobody's interested, but I was the one showing up and I was getting all of those people, okay? So fourth quarter. So now let's talk about building momentum, especially now in the fourth quarter. I want you to get out a piece of paper or use your phone or use your computer and write Big Mo down the side. Leave space in between each. So BIGMO. We're going to fill in the spaces with information on each of those letters. So Darren Hardy is the author of The Compound Effect. And that book was life-changing for me. If you haven't read it, I highly recommend it. As I said, it's going to be mandatory for our new coach training. But I listened to the entire book in one day. It was like 7 hours, and I was just so captivated, I could not stop. And then I bought it because I like to have a hard copy as well. So this is basically from him, and when you hear these things, it's going to make sense to you. It's common sense, but sometimes we need to hear it over and over again. So the B stands for begin. Begin. You have to start somewhere. And again, you don't want to wait until it's the perfect time, because that perfect time will never come. You will never have enough time. You will never have enough money. You will never be at your goal weight. And you don't want to wait until you're at your goal weight anyway, because that seems out of reach to people. You need to document the journey. You need to document the process. So we're going to be using a car analogy a lot throughout this training. So when a car is stopped, right? It has to get going. If your business is stopped with your new coach, it is, you need to get going. So every object has to start from being stopped. Every object. So you are not at a disadvantage here. But you have to remember that it takes time to build momentum, right? There are some cars that go from 0 to 60, but most don't, right? It takes a little bit of time to gather that speed. So if you think this is a get-rich-quick scheme, it's not. It's going to take some time for your momentum to build, and that's totally fine. Um, I've been talking a lot about the 10X rule. So this is another book. You can get that, add that to your list, but after the compound effect for sure. So the 10X rule is all about being above average. And if you want to be above average, you have to take 10X action. If you want big results, you have to take big action. And so he's very clear that you don't want to wait any longer. You don't want to wait until you've sat down and wrote out a social media calendar. You don't want to wait until you've written out your plan, or you've written out a map, or you know exactly everything that has to do with Beachbody, because you're wasting your time. Because as you're sitting there preparing and planning, other people are out there getting it, and they're getting the challengers and they're getting the coaches while you are sitting back and planning. So the Grant Cardone, Bailey. So you just want to get out there. You just want to take action. Take action. Do not sit back and plan. This is on-the-job training. So in most circumstances, you go to school, you spend a lot of time in school, you go to high school, you go to college, you go to grad school, and then maybe you go to some sort of training, and then you start a new job and you go through an orientation, and then you keep learning and learning before you actually get in the trenches and do anything. This is the opposite. I want you to start coaching on day one. Start putting yourself out there. Do not wait until you get through your entire new coach training. Do not wait until you finish the compound effect. Do not wait until you finish a program and then talk about it. Don't wait until you've coached for a month to then talk about it. No, I want you on day one. This is on-the-job training. Learn as you go. Do not overcomplicate it. It's very simple to do this business, but you just have to start. Okay, so begin is number one. I is intensity. So to get going, you need energy. So back to our car, in order to start a car, like a little mini explosion occurs inside that engine to get it going. That's what I need you to bring, especially at the beginning, is the intensity. You need to bring the fire, you need to bring the energy, you need to bring that explosion to get your business going. Because people need to know who you are. You have to get your name out there. So intensity comes from your why, it comes from your passion, it comes from the reason that you are doing this. And I do not want to hear, oh, I just want to help people, or I like helping people, because that's great and we all love helping people. But at the end of the day, when you're tired and when you've had a lot of no's and nobody has commented on your post, just wanting to help people isn't going to be enough to keep you going. So I'm going to talk about this in a little bit in a moment, but I want you to really start thinking about why you are doing this. What is the bigger reason, the bigger purpose? And again, I'll touch upon that in a moment. But to get going, you have to have that intensity. In order to get a car to go, you don't just gently tap on the gas, you press on the gas, right? In order to get anything going, you have to give it some intensity and you have to be consistent. So I was talking to Megan, who's a brand new coach, and she's on the call about Disney World. And so this talks about excitement. Okay, so intensity also is passion and enthusiasm and excitement. So she just got back from Disney World and she was so excited, and just the way when I brought up Disney, her face lit up and she was like, oh my gosh. And my girls, even though they're only 1 and 2, they loved it, right? And I got excited, and I don't even really like Disney World. I haven't been there in a while. Maybe it'll be better as a parent. But I'm like, oh yeah, that sounds so exciting, right? And I'm excited about Disney World. So that's the kind of intensity and excitement you have to have about what you do as a coach. Because when you talk about it, you want other people to feel that excitement and to get excited as well. Okay, so, I can do this now. I have this on my list for later. But if you don't know your why, you don't have that excitement right now for a coaching. You don't really you're like, I don't have that passion, the excitement like I have about Disney. I want you to do this exercise, okay? So I want you to sit down and close your eyes. And you don't have to do it right now. You can do it another time. But I want you to close your eyes and teleport into your dream life. What is your dream life? And then once you get there, I want you to open your eyes and I want you to look around. And I want you to write down on a piece of paper what you see, what you hear, what you feel, what you smell. So are you transporting to your dream home? If so, what does it look like? Are you in the kitchen? What do the cabinets look like? What is cooking? What's on the stove? Who's there with you? Is it the middle of the day? Is it after school? Are your kids there? Are your kids' friends there because your house is the cool house? Is your husband or wife there because you were able to retire them? Are you able to get into your dream car and not have to worry about bills or going to the grocery store? And is your car going to be approved or declined? Are you able to buy the best of everything? Like, what is your dream? It's going to be different for everyone. So I want you to really sit down and think about what your dream life is and write that down and have that close by, because every time you don't want to post, you don't want to respond to a message, you don't want to do a live video when I'm telling you to, you need to think about that dream. Like tonight, I did not want to do a live video. I was like really fighting with myself because I was like, I don't want to do this live video about the challenge group, but I remembered the 10X rule. I need to take action. I need to do it. So I did it, and I am getting, my phone is blowing up with people who are like, oh, I just watched your video. I want to join your group. So I'm like, okay, I'm so happy I did that, right? So, but before I did that video, I thought about my dream, paying off all my student loan debt that is killing me, and being able to buy what I want and have my husband at home and not have to worry about childcare because I can be at home all day, every day. So you have to have that really strong why. What is your why? What's going to make you do the things you don't want to do so that you can have the things that you really, really want that you wouldn't have otherwise? Okay? So that is my assignment for you for intensity. All right, G is give it time. Give it time, because momentum isn't instant. It's a slow build, and it compounds. And here is one of my favorite examples. So, and I got this from Shaun T in Insanity Max 30. So I just finished Insanity Max 30, and I hate cardio, and that is like the craziest kind of cardio workout ever created. And the first 5 minutes is technically a warm-up, but it's like balls to the walls. And I remember the first few times I did it, I'm like, did I miss the warm-up? Was like the warm-up a different track on this DVD? No, like the first 5 minutes you are just bouncing off the walls, and that's the warm-up. But Shaun T says something that really resonated with me. And he said, it's like an airplane, right? It takes a lot of work, a lot of effort to get off the ground, to take off. But then once you reach your altitude, you just soar. And it's so true, because in that workout, I mean, the first 5 minutes are the hardest, and then the next 25 are equally as hard, but you are already at that altitude and you just soar through it. And that's the same with coaching. The beginning is the hardest, because you have to get your name out there, and you have to tell people what you're doing, and you have to learn how to be consistent and show intensity, right? And enthusiasm. But then once you get to that level, then you soar. People come to you and want to join your group. You're not seeking them out. You're getting challengers, you're getting customers, and that's really cool. So at the beginning, it takes time. You're not going to sign up as a coach and then the next day, be a top 10 coach and have all of these challengers. It takes time. So I want you to realize that. But it gets easier. So at the beginning, you have to put in a lot of effort. But then you pick up speed and more speed, like a car, right? To get going. At the beginning, it takes time. And then you coast. But along those same lines, I want you to be consistent. So consistency is so key. You cannot push on the gas and then push on the brake. Push on the gas, push on the brake. And I see a lot of coaches do that because they lead with emotion. So they get really excited and they like go all in, and they're posting and they're doing all this stuff. And then something happens, they get a no, or nobody comments on their post, and they hit the brakes. They're like, I can't do this. And they're like, no, I'm going to do it. And they hit the gas, and then they hit the brake, gas, brake, gas, brake. And guess what? They don't go anywhere. Okay? They don't go anywhere. They don't pick up the momentum. They don't pick up the speed. So you just have to be consistent every single day. Keep going. All right, next is M for is motion. Motion. So objects that are in motion, stay in motion. Objects that are in place, stay in place. So if you're a brand new coach, you are in place. you haven't really started. But if you are somewhere in your coaching journey, you're probably in motion, and we want you to stay in motion, okay? So this is a really important part. Because I see a lot of coaches struggle with this, and then the coaches that quit, this is why they quit. So you're a new coach, you're here, and your goals are all the way up here, right? You want to, whatever your goals are. So I see this a lot. New coaches, they begin and they know that they're going to begin. They know it takes time. They bring the intensity, and they start doing the vital behaviors. They're doing the 4 vital behaviors. They're doing personal development. They're being a product of the product. They're inviting, they're posting, and they're making this progress. They're getting challengers, and they're getting coaches, and things are picking up. But then something in life happens, as it always does. Things get busy at work. Things get busy at school. Something's wrong, they have a lot to do with their children, or they have to move, or things are going on in their home. And so they realize, you know what? I have too much going on. I have to take a break. I'm going to hit pause on Beachbody. I'm just going to stop. I'm going to take a breather. And you know what? That's kind of the worst thing they can do, because if you're not growing, you're receding. You can never just stay still, especially in this business. So if you press pause, if you're like, I need a breather, guess what? You're not going to stay where you are. Every single day, you're going to take baby steps back to where you began. The foundation that you have built will begin to crumble, because all of the people who were watching you on Facebook, they're now like, oh, well, she quit. She disappeared. She's not doing it anymore. She's wishy-washy. She's not consistent. She doesn't have the grit. She can't stick with it. The people who were thinking about joining you, they don't join you. They go and they join someone else who's showing up. The challengers that you had when you began, they're like, there's no group for me to join. I don't have the support. I don't know who to contact because my coach isn't coaching anymore. The coaches that you signed up are like, I don't have an upline. She's nowhere to be found. She's not responding to my messages. And so they begin to fall off and they quit. So then you're back to where you started. And then you watch a motivational video or you read a book and you're like, oh, right, I'm back. Right? Or you have to pay a bill and you realize I need to make this work. So you're back in the game and you begin to do the vital behaviors. You begin to do personal development and you begin to post and run challenge groups and do all these things. And guess what? You spend all this time getting to the middle again, and then life happens and you press pause again and you fall back. And so I see a lot of coaches who start and then they stop and they fall back. They start and they work really hard and they get to the middle and then they stop. Listen, life is going to happen. We are all busy. Everyone has things going on. But you cannot take a break with this. And I'm not saying you have to go hard and work 8 hours a day on this. Make a post or two. Show people that you're still there. You're still doing it. Respond to your messages. But don't ever say, I'm just going to stop and I'll pick up again later, because it's going to be so hard to do that. You've kind of, you're just making it harder for yourself. So if you've done that, it's fine. I want you to restart, right? You have to start where you are. You have to begin. But I need you to stay consistent and do not give up. Because imagine if those people, how many times they had walked all the way backwards, if they just didn't press pause and kept going forward a tiny bit at a time, they would have reached their goals in the time that it took them to stop and start and stop and start. So there is no staying still. You will always go backwards. So you have to keep pushing forward, even if it's not pretty, it's not perfect. You may not have enough time to do your whole power hour, but if you just show up and you do something to show that you're still in the game, that's all I'm asking you to do. So you have to stay in motion. Okay, so stay in motion is M. And last is O, and this is overwork. And I don't want you to get stressed right now. So overwork is like bringing the intensity, and it's really important in the beginning. So to get going, you have to bring the fire. You have to bring the fire. You have to bring the energy, especially at the beginning, because you have to get your name out there. You want to post more so that more eyes will see you. You want to have more conversations with people. You want to have more exposure. And the 10x rule, again, you want to be average or do you want to be above average? You have to take above average steps. But remember, to sell one challenge pack, you're probably going to have to talk to 10 people. To get 10 coaches, you're going to have to talk to 100 people. And that that works. Like I run an ad every month for coaching, and I will get 100 responses, but only, less than 10 will actually become coaches. So that's the reality. So I run this ad, 100 people say they're interested, maybe half of them even respond when I respond to them initially and say, hey, I see you're interested. That's crickets. So you have to take massive action in order to get those results. And in the beginning, you have to work harder. But I'm telling you that as you go, you won't have to work as hard. You're going to pick up speed and you're going to pick up momentum, and then you can kind of take your hands off the wheel. And top coaches always talk about this. They talk about how at the beginning they worked really, really hard, and now they have these lives of freedom because one, their business is pretty established. They've built that residual income, and they outsource. They hire virtual assistants to do almost all of their work. So that's something. So at the beginning, like every time that it's like 11 o'clock at night and I'm like scheduling challenge group posts and doing stuff, I'm like, okay, eventually I'll be able to like hire someone to do this part for me. And that will be sweet, right? But there's a cool diagram, and it shows like the path of being an entrepreneur. So at the beginning, your work is all the way up here and sloping down because you're working so much and your income is so low. And it's like, why am I putting in all these hours to only get a tiny bit of income out? But in 5 years, it completely flips, and you're putting in very, very minimal time and effort, and your income is way, way up here because you've built that residual income. So that's what you're working for, and I want you to keep that in mind. So that is Big Mo. So one, you have to begin. You have to start where you are. You need to bring the intensity, the enthusiasm. You need to give it time, and then you need to stay in motion. Once you're in motion, we want you to stay in motion, and then we need you to work hard, especially at the beginning. And again, I'm not being unrealistic. I'm telling you to work like 1 hour a day, 2 if you really want to be successful. So I'm not telling you to work 8 hours a day, but that's all it takes. If you do your power hour and you are consistent, you will see the results. And especially in the fourth quarter is when you want to bring this Big Mo. All right. Do you have any questions that I could answer? Any comments or any facts or tips that you want to share with the rest of the team? No?
I'll say something.
Okay, go ahead, Callie.
I just started like using this little tracker, and I feel like writing down everything. I don't know. I wasn't very good at tracking in the beginning, and I just wanted to say that since I started doing this, I'm seeing a lot more activity.
Mm-hmm.
So,
where did you get that from?
Actually, my downline coach, she found it on the accountability group. So she had it printed, and then she just emailed it to me, but I could email it to you.
Okay, yeah. Do you want to post it in our group? Or
yeah, I can post it.
Or you can email it to me and I can add it to Google Drive and post the link, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can post it in the group for everyone to use. Yeah, tracking, I'm with you. At the beginning, I was not very good at tracking like how many messages I was sending or how many coaches I was like following up with each day. And it makes a huge difference. Like, because you think like, oh, I just spent an hour working, but what did you actually do? And what's important for everyone is I always ask myself when I'm doing something, is this a business building behavior? Is this something that I absolutely need to be doing and need to be doing right now? Because if you're pressed for time, like I'm pretty sure we all are, you don't want to be spending hours on PicMonkey or, looking up random things. You want to be doing the things that actually matter. So thanks for sharing that.
It does keep me on track way more. So it's good.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else? Natasha, Team Z, yes. So Team Z is really cool, but you do have to pay for it. Natasha, do you want to talk about it? You're muted. Hold on, let me unmute her.
Okay, sorry, I'm muted. I was brushing my teeth, sorry. So you can do it for 30 days and see if it's something that you're into. I know, it's just been we had a live event, so we went and did a dance. We did some Country Heat Live with some people, so I'm like thrown off tonight. Anyway, I digress. Teamzy. It's really nice because you go in and you can actually set like a financial goal, and they base off of your financial goal, like what you want to make per year, how many contacts you should be making to customers and to prospects, and then to your coaches and different things like that. And the thing that I like about it is I found that, and you can also set all your follow-ups, which was something that I think I struggled with initially. And but the other thing I like about it is that it tells me who to talk to. And I wasted so much time when I first started because I would be like, nope, not that person, not that person, not that person. And I'd like go through Facebook and then I get sidetracked and comment on posts. And then I, just be in Facebook land stuck there. So it's nice because it's like this person, this person, this person, this person. And that's it. And it takes you through your customers too. So all of those people that I've had added to my Beachbody account because of hitting Success Club, I rotate through them and I send emails. And I actually just had a new coach just sign up that was somebody that I had contacted with, I'd kept in touch with through email, but she's never been in any of my groups or anything, and she just decided she wanted to coach. So she was a customer. I've never talked to her any other way. But I don't think that I necessarily would have stayed in touch with her as well because I kind of forget about those like people that those customers that we get through our Success Club leads. But I just feel like it's been a game changer. I started using it in, I want to say like May or June. And I think I've hit Success Club 10 consistently since then. So I don't know. I've just seen a big change. It is $30 a month afterwards. So that's an investment. That's something that if you want to, if you see it as an important investment, like if you think it's going to work for you, then I think it's worth it. But obviously that's up to you. But I love it. I'm a Teamzy. I even have a shirt. They gave it to me for free. So I was like, yeah, I'll take that. That's all. I'm going to go back to brushing my teeth now.
Thanks, Natasha. Yes, I used Teamzy for a while, and I really, really did like it because it gives you like this progress bar that says like 100%, congrats, you did it, you're a rock star today. And it's like you will do anything to get that 100%. Like you're like, oh, I really don't want to message this person, but I'm going to do it anyway just so I can get, to my 100%. So that really helped me stay on track. But then I found Google Streak, and I like that better. So I did a video on that. You can, in our team page in the search bar, you can type in Google Streak and you can see the video I did on why I like it and the pipelines I use. It's kind of like Teamzy, but what I did was I put in my income goal in Teamzy, and I now know how many coaches I need to connect with, how many customers I need to connect with, and how many new prospects I need to connect with each day. And so now that's what I kind of just use those numbers. But Teamzy is great. It is great, but it is that investment. Callie, you do not have to use the email part of Google Streak. It's really just like a tracking system. I don't use the email component of it at all. So I do everything on Facebook, and then I just kind of log it and track it in Streak with like where my people are in my conversations. Like, did I send them the link? Did they say follow up next month? Did they join the group? That kind of stuff. But the cool thing about Google Streak is that it does allow you to see who reads your emails. So there's a little eye at the bottom of the email. So when you send it to someone, the eye, I think it turns yellow when they've read the email. So you know if they've seen it and are just like not responding, which is cool. Oh, Ashley, yes, that's the goal. You want to start tearing up a little bit when you start visualizing your why. When you do that exercise, when you teleport into your dream life, you should get emotional. If you're not emotional, then your why is not important enough. So I'm happy to hear that, Ashley. All right, does anyone else want to share anything or ask any questions while we're all here? All right, if not, Natasha, are you back?
I have one more thing, sorry. I know, I'm a mess. But this is just something, and it kind of goes along with everything that you're talking about. Believe it or not, I was listening. It's something that I do, and it goes along with the whole visualization. And I think I told some of my downline coaches this last week or something, but I always, every morning, whether I'm walking my dog or I'm in my car on the way to my full-time job, I tell myself, like, I introduce myself as who I am, who I am going to be. So I always introduce myself as, hi, I'm Natasha Nidok. I say it out loud. People would think I'm crazy if they actually heard me, but I'm telling all of you. I always say, I'm Natasha Nidok. I'm 15-star Diamond Beachbody coach, and this is my life. Like, I kind of like let people into my life that no one can hear it but me, and now you guys, but don't tell anybody because I sound crazy. But I think that that's super important to put yourself in the place where you want to be. And I just say, you know, like, I just did this. I just paid off all of our student loans. This is what Beachbody has provided to me. I'm able to be with my daughter. I don't miss anything. I don't miss her school plays. Like, you know what I mean? Whatever your why is, I verbalize it as I'm in that present time. And I just think that that's something it's weird at first. I'm not going to lie, but I think it's something that's super powerful. And just something I wanted to share. So, I mean, if you're into that and visualizing and putting yourself into like where you want to be in the future, just give it a try. Make it something that you can do every day. It takes like 2 minutes. But I think it's pretty powerful. Okay, that's all.
Thank you, Natasha. I love that. I'm all about that. I do something very similar. And sometimes if it's really important, I have my husband say it too, because I'm like, we got to say it out loud. Keep repeating it out loud because the universe needs to hear it. So I'm telling you, there is some truth to this craziness. Yeah, Ashley, your life follows your words for sure. If you haven't watched The Secret, then you need to watch The Secret. That's in my new coach email, like the first assignment that I give is to watch The Secret. And at first, like when you start that documentary, it's like crazy and you're like, what is this voodoo she's making me watch? But then by the end, you're sold. So thank you, Natasha, for sharing that. That's a really good tip. And I want everybody to start doing that. All right. If you have any other questions or anything, then I'm going to end this recording and then I will upload it and share it to our group. And if you have questions, then you can post in the thread underneath this video or contact me privately. But thank you guys all so much for spending your Tuesday night with me. Have a great evening and a fabulous rest of the week.